Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you from Basel in northwest Switzerland and the Ford World Men's Curling Championship 2016. Great to have you with us at the start of this championship in such a wonderful location too. Basel, situated on the Rhine, close to the borders of France and Germany, and the medieval part of the city is dominated by the 16th century red sandstone town hall. And this is the Jakobshalle, where all the drama will unfold in the next 8 days or so. It holds up to around 9,000 inside, and it hosted the 2012 World Men's Championship. So day one and the start of the round robin, and this will be our featured game, Germany against Switzerland. I'm Alison Walker, and with me the first ever World Mixed Curling Champion from Norway, Sander Rovag. We'll be bringing you live commentary on the whole game, and we'll keep you updated with what happens elsewhere. So the teams just wishing each other good luck and good curling. And look, we're allowed at this stage, Sander, to anticipate, but there's the German lineup first of all. The lead, Sebastian Schweizer. At second, Mark Muskatovic. Germany's third is Manuel Walter. And Alex Bowman, making his debut at the Worlds, is the skip. For the home team Switzerland, the lead, Simon Gempeler. Second player, Enrico Pfister. At third, we have Mark Pfister. And there's their skip, Sven Mikkel. So here we go with the lineup. Very, very impressive array of quality teams here. A lot of experience in all of those teams. And who knows what will happen as the week develops in this round robin. Who will be there at the end of the week? We might ask Sander for a quick prediction.
I think you'll find Canada, maybe Norway, Sweden, Scotland, Switzerland up there at the top of the standings as we get closer to the end of the week.
There's the other games, Sander, that are going on. Sweden against Japan. On sheet B, we have Korea, Scotland. On sheet C, Norway, Russia. And our featured game on sheet D, Germany against Switzerland. Yeah, and let's do a bit of a preview here because nothing's happened yet. If there's one team that you might fancy just to kind of come from the back door, if it were, who would it be? That might just do something unexpected. Because we had that last week at the Women's Worlds with Japan coming to the final.
Well, the Japanese team that is here, they're pretty good, but they kind of stepped back a little bit last season and didn't have such a good display at the Worlds. But they also have Korea, a team that's been working really hard towards the Olympics in Pyeongchang. You never know what you might see from them, but it's hard to tell. I
like can say anything at this stage.
I'd like to see one draw.
Yeah,
and
just to get that info behind you and see how they take to the surroundings. And our featured game, Alex Bowman making his first appearance at the Worlds. It'll be exciting for him, but there'll be some nerves attached to that as well, I'm sure, won't there?
Of course. He's been playing a lot of championships though, and already as a junior, Baumann played four times at the World Juniors, so yeah, he has some experience at this level, but definitely Worlds is a bit of a bigger stage.
And Sven Mikkel, local team obviously, the home team, and always adds that little bit more pressure, especially after the women's team won the Worlds last week. Yeah. No pressure there.
I think it can go both ways. It depends on your personality, I guess. Some people might thrive under your home crowd. Some might feel a bit more pressure.
He's getting a bit more used to being in the spotlight now, Sven, though, isn't he?
For sure.
Yeah. So here we go. This is our first game of the week. Lots more to come. Some great action coming up, I'm sure. And both these teams will want to get off to a winning start.
Linie ist perfekt. Braucht, braucht. Komm, Rico, nach. Ja, Linie ist sehr gut. Komm.
Germany with the red stones, Switzerland yellow.
Gut, tipptopp. Turn again, please.
So we have a centre guard in play. So we might get some action already here in the first end. We'll see Germany just try and play this out turn draw to come around the centre guard. Sometimes you'll see the first team throw the stone into the house, and we might see a hit and then have a very boring open blank end, but it seems like both teams may be comfortable with the ice conditions, so it's going ahead.
They've worked hard at the ice here this week, got dehumidifiers in, helping with the temperature and the dampness.
It's a multi-purpose venue too, hosting the ATP tennis tournament and so on.
Yep, also a conference centre. But this week it's all about the curling. And a good crowd inside here following the success of the women's team in Canada last week. This is Simon Gempeler at the lead, 29 years old.
Yeah, so that draw from Schweitzer just came into the top 12, so Sven Michael just thinking it's a little bit easier to play the short run back, and Gempeler makes a good one there, leaves two yellow centre guards in play. And when you don't have the last stone advantage, that's very much the case, is to keep your stones along the centre line and allow less room to score for the team with last stone, namely Germany.
Here is Sebastian Schweider's second stone, the lead for Germany.
Of course, we also have the free guard zone, or what's also called the four-rock rule, where you're not allowed to hit any guards or remove any guard from play at the early start of the end. So even if Germany wanted to remove these yellows and open up the centre line, they're not allowed to. So it's coming around again. And this time Sven Michael just electing to throw the freeze rather than the run back. Just trying to lock this yellow stone onto the red one.
Enrico Pfister, second player for Switzerland.
Yeah, both the Pfister brothers joining Sven Michel's rink last year. Well, Simon Gempeler sweeping here has played with Sven for just a number of years. And both Sven and Simon, they played together when they played their first European Championship back in 2011. So the two Pfister brothers are sort of the new addition to the team, although they have played a couple of years now. And now you will see Germany try and open up the front.
Alexander Baumann indicating what he wants Mark Vuskatovic to do, youngster in the team. From Baden-Baden originally. And he's an electrician. Here's the rules of play for the round robin. 6 ends, a minimum of 6 ends, the 38-minute thinking time, and the 1 60-second timeout. So time does matter. The players do have to be aware of it.
And we're going to see another run-back attempt from Switzerland. Just running this guard back onto the red. And does so nicely. Just wanted maybe to stick that yellow one in the house. Actually overswept that a wee bit, so just heard Sven apologise there.
Yep, they wanted that one sailing out there to hang about, but it...
So now we'll see Germany hit that open yellow stone, and I think they were looking to roll in behind the guard here, but they'll just check a bit to the opposite wing.
Så! Nå, frisk op, Uwe.
Now, a new addition to the sport, especially this season, has really come to life is directional sweeping. So you'll see that being employed by all teams, I would imagine.
Mark Pfister, third player for Team Mikkel, usually from Summerswald in Switzerland, plays out of Bern Curling Club,
Godt så. Dybt op.
and his other life he's a bricklayer.
So what you'll hear from the directional sweeping is, in basic terms, if you sweep in the same direction the stone's curling, sweeping with the curl, as we say, you will get the stone to curl a wee bit more, and if you sweep against the curl, it curls less. So you'll hear the skips, instead of just yelling sweep or don't sweep, they might call out names.
We saw that last week. The names were being called by the skip, saying, "No, no, not you."
Yeah, it's,
And even they got a bit confused with the brushes at times and brooms, and had to swap back. And
oh yeah, definitely, because all of these players they played a decade or two, and just a normal way, and now the whole communication with the sweeping and what it does, it's just changed drastically within a season. So
yeah, it's quite a dramatic change, but the players seem to be adjusting, taking a little bit of time. And I think from what I've seen, it has enhanced the game.
And for the ones that's been following the sport very closely, I can tell you that the rules for the brooms for this event, of course, the hair brooms are banned, as they were earlier in the season. But for pads, they are allowed to use 4 brushes for one game and 4 new pads. So for each game, you'll see 4 new pads. So what you might see happen is sweepers will use their 2 brooms, and then as soon as you get closer to the end of the game, one of the sweepers might swap with the skip's broom, which is a fresh pad.
He hasn't been using it much yet.
And get a more effect using that in the later stages of the game. So it's going to be a bit of a tactical game.
Just another consideration. It's another thing to think about, but another thing that might just give you that edge.
Oh yeah.
And at this level, where their teams are so even, any small difference that can be made.
And that's really where a lot of the experience comes into play. As we see Saint Michael just drawing to the opposite wing, just trying to split the house here, and what they're looking for is just to force Germany to score 1 point here.
He was 7th last year in Halifax with his team, and 2014 won bronze at the Europeans after winning gold in 2013. So he knows how to perform on the big stage.
Ikke så veel gewoon in je tank. 4-0. Goed.
So last little chance for Germany to maybe generate a score 2. Play this hit and roll off the open yellow stone and try and roll in behind those 2 stones on the right hand side.
So that's what Alex Bowen is looking at. 31-year-old skip for Germany. Actually lives in France. But obviously is from Rastatt in Germany.
Does make a very good roll there, actually. I'm not sure if it's fully covered, but that was a very good attempt. Just needed to curl just a few millimeters more, and that would have been a perfect shot. Looks like Sven can see about just about the whole stone.
Oh, he can see enough of that, can't he?
But you'll see they'll take quite a bit of ice here, and they'll play with less weight. And with playing less weight, you'll see the stone curl a bit more, but with that, you'll have more control of the line with the sweeping. If you play too much weight, sweeping has less effect. So okay, just a controlled weight here, trying to use the directional sweeping to make this shot. And now we'll hear them.
So saying the names there, Gempi.
Yeah, it'll be
It's
same
like
again, player.
It's your ball.
That's a nice little shot there by Sven Michael. Nice pair from the Swiss skip in the first end, as he's now forcing Alexander Baumann to draw for his single point.
If you don't have the hammer, I guess that's a perfect start for Switzerland.
Yep, it's a good old plan of allowing your opponent to score one when they have last stone, and then you try and score two yourself, and try and do that for the whole game. As we see the hog-to-hog stopwatch there, that's that red line on the ice is the hog line. Players need to release the stone before that line. We'll do a split time from that line to the second hog line, and we're looking at 13-6. Should be enough to get there. This one over curling though.
It is. Is it going to? Ooh.
Oh boy. So that's a bit of a mistake from Alexander Baumann. Not sure if he was just a bit lazy on the handle or didn't take enough ice there. Or
so turn around there. Last stone. It's a steal for Switzerland after one. Germany 0, Switzerland 1. Second end then.
Linie ist gut, Garlic gut. Ja, ich bekomme braucht. Ja, kommen die Jungs. Go, go, Marki, go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Komm noch ein bisschen,
So it's Switzerland scoring one there. Didn't really feel like putting up that center guard anymore. We're gonna make the play into the house, knowing that Germany now has to score, and they'll more than likely put up the corner guard, and they will. Alexander Baumann has called for a corner guard on the crowd side of the sheet.
There's a closer look at the sweeping.
The other part with the directional sweeping is, as we just touched on, the pans are a lot more effective when they're fresh. They're a lot more abrasive. But when they're at the very abrasive stage, they're not always that good for sweeping for weight. So they try and warm up a pad, kind of brush it down a little bit, so you can use it for weight. So when they're playing draws, you might see them have one that's sort of used a little bit, and then one abrasive one. And when they're playing hits, takeouts, they might put 2 abrasive brushes, just purely for their directional sweeping.
And will the curlers know just by feel whether that's been worn down enough, or
yeah,
they'll know how much it takes?
That's also a bit of a feel at this point. It's, teams would have tested that back home, I think, and how long a pad will last before it becomes less abrasive and so on. The ice conditions might play into it as well.
It's quite a fine balancing act, actually, isn't it? It's just another
It's still quite new, so I think there's still a bit of guessing, but most teams are getting a pretty good grasp of what everything's doing.
I'm sure by the end of this round robin, everyone out there will fully understand it.
Yep.
Doing well with the sweeping here, though. Going to nestle up beside that one. Not quite.
So again, with Switzerland not having the last stone, they're just wanting to keep their stones along the center line, closing down the scoring area. Well, we'll see probably Germany try and move the play over to the left-hand side as we see it, try and utilize that corner guard and try and keep the center open, make sure they can always score a single point. And this is Enrico Fester just playing a little hit and roll here, and you'll see Gempler sweeping for a little extra curl in the end.
There was no roll at all. Right, lots going on elsewhere in the arena. Let's check on Norway against Russia in the first end on sheet C. Thomas Ulsrud with the final stone.
Yeah, it looks like a draw for 2, already the lying win, I believe. Should be a pretty routine shot for a 45-year-old skip.
Yeah, so let's have a look. Looks like there's one in there already. I think that's the red one counting. Yep, there we go. 2 for Norway, so off to a good start. Norway 2, Russia 0 after 1.
I came a little bit close to that Yellowstone in the top 12, and I wonder if you might see some teams try and sweep as little as possible to keep their pants fresh for the game. So no need to have any unnecessary sweeping. I don't know, we'll see. So, this one just slip into the back 4. Now Germany calling for a freeze onto that back zone, sort of playing into Switzerland's gameplay here, keeping things on the center line. If it makes a good freeze, Switzerland would probably not be able to remove it. This one is really hanging on the corner guard at the moment. We'll just chip off that now. We have a second center guard. That's really not a good result for them. They've pretty much taken away that corner, and we'll have 2 center guards, 2 yells in the house, everything online.
There's a Swiss coach, Robert Hürlimann. He was a pretty good player in his day. There they all are, all the coaches and the alternates from each country, watching the appropriate sheets. So you'll
see again here. Same again, player just trying to sweep it to get that extra curl, but this one is coming up a bit heavy. It's going to slip to the back. It's a bit of a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, and I think he knows that.
Leaving a big pocket at the back for Germany to come on to.
Thomas Lips, coach Germany.
Well, he is Swiss, so this might be a bit of an interesting battle for him here.
Who pays his wages?
Yeah, very good player in his own right. Not too many years ago either.
He knows his stuff. Has coached with a few different teams.
As for you, so we'll just tap that yellow, leave a bit of room. It's quite possible to remove the red stone.
Zachte! Ja. Zachte Nase oder ein bisschen rollen! Gut. Zachte, ja.
So we're going to play a hit and roll off this red stone. And they're probably going to remove the back yellow, but it won't be too bad for them. Still be lying 3.
If they manage to keep it there, that's a bonus, I guess. Just get rid of that red and the position it's in.
Pretty good shot. Still looking to roll another foot maybe, but still pretty good there. Still Germany calling a freeze.
Ziellein hat er. Genau, Freeze. Hinten wir. Hinten wir. Hinten wir. 4. Wunderbar, schön.
That's a very, very nice shot by Manuel Walter.
We're heading over to sheet A for a moment now. Sweden against Japan in the first end.
That's a lot of stones to play, Alison.
It is. There's all sorts going on. Last stone.
Skip Morrisumi looking to make something happen.
I think he nudged his in there. Or did he?
Looks like it's
It's
still
a
a one.
Swedish counter. It is.
It's kind of hard to tell what he's looking to do there, to be honest.
So Sweden won, Japan 0 after the first end.
So Sven Michael just looking to remove this red stone now. Just peel it. There we go, clean pick.
Nicely done, indeed. And largely Swiss crowd enjoying that from their home player.
Didn't seem all too impressed himself there. I wonder if he was looking to maybe pick out one of his own yellows as well to not leave such a big pocket, perhaps. But I think he's still quite happy. Because Germany will just play pretty much the same shot here. Well, with the upweight ability of the players nowadays, it's even a perfect freeze doesn't really do you very much. So even with a very good shot here, I'm pretty sure Switzerland will have a good chance of removing it. We're down to skip stones, so gonna have to make this one count if he wants to score 2 here, Baumann.
He needs it to come round.
It's a very good shot, but still, that's maybe a third of a rock of room there.
Yeah, it's gettable, isn't it?
Very, very likely for Sven Michael to just remove this. Even if he spells his back yellows there, that top yellow stone will be in behind the guards, and Germany will have no chance of blanking in the end. So main objective here is just to run the red stone out and leave a draw for one.
So here he goes, the Swiss skip. Played another good end here.
There we go. Let's build those two back hills. That maybe not such a bad thing actually, because that doesn't, now there's no backing for Baumann to draw into. So if he comes up a bit heavy here, nothing for the stone to come arrest to. So
just needs to take a bit more care.
Just play the shot though, so it should be close.
So last stone of this second end.
We saw 13.6 on that last draw in the first end that ended up over curling quite a bit, and I believe we'd be looking for at least 14 on this draw. And this one, 13.6 again. I wouldn't be surprised if this one's a little heavy.
So where is it going to finish? I wonder. And another mistake from Baumann.
Yeah, so Sven Michael removed the backing for him and sort of paid off for him.
It did, it worked after two. It's now Germany 0, Switzerland 2.
Linie ist gut. Sehr lang aus. Linie ist perfekt.
You're watching live coverage from the World Men's Curling Championship 2016 in the St. Jakobshalle, Basel in Switzerland. And we're watching our feature game, which is Germany against Switzerland. First game in this first draw, start of the round robin. Alison Walker and Sander Rovag bringing you live commentary. Every day from now on there will be a live commentary from each draw. And not the best of starts, Sander, here for Germany, that's for sure.
Well, I think Switzerland's done a really good job of forcing Germany to take their one, but so far we've seen Alexander Baumann miss both his last stone draws, the first and second end, to score that single point. So still Germany with hammer, and Switzerland being able to pick up a few easy steals.
Another chance with the hammer for Germany to just get back on track.
Yeah, if Germany scores two here, you know, you're tied up and most things are forgotten. You've lost the hammer, but it's everything to play for still, with another 7 ends to go after this. So,
and also another end gone, and in terms of trying to get a measure of the ice, which perhaps Alex Bowen hasn't quite done yet. Every stone thrown gives an indication.
Yeah,
ice condition.
Ice does change a little bit too. We might have seen that in that second end where we saw Baumann throw the same split time hog to hog, but it came up a bit heavier. The ice team tends to keen up a little bit after the first few ends. That's quite normal, so it's nothing new for the players to get used to. But every pad of ice is different, and can't change from minute to minute or day to day.
So one game we haven't looked at, Sander, is the Korea-Scotland game on sheet B. Into the second end now. This is the Scottish skip, Tom Brewster, twice a world silver medalist.
Blank first end. This one looks like a draw for 2.
Yep, there's a yellow in already. So good start for the Scots. Blank first end, but the Scots picking up 2 in the second. Korea 0, Scotland 2.
Tom Brewster's done quite well of bringing a young squad to the Worlds. Did the same with the likes of Greg Drummond and Scott Andrews, Michael Goodfellow. Went back-to-back silver medals at the Worlds, and it'll be interesting to see if he's able to pull that off here again with a fresh squad.
And new young players.
So still Germany just looking to move the play behind that corner guard, but as of now not successfully making those hit and rolls. So Switzerland will try and make the hit and roll back, leave the stones on the centre line.
Swiss curling very much on the up, certainly in terms of the women's game. And the win last week in Canada boosted the sales of tickets here.
Rico just looking up at the Jumbotron, the St. Jacob's Hall here.
Having a look at himself. Players often glance up at it for a rerun, don't they? Here's Muskatovic.
So Mark Pfister used to skip his own team with his brother. Very good team back then a few years ago, but teaming up with Sven last year. Just looking for the nose hit there. Ends up rolling to the left as we see it grouping those yellows. We might just see Germany play the double here. Playing fairly quiet weight. So might actually trying to pull hit on the nose here and try and sit on top of the yellow. This one starting to really overcurl though. Will roll out, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Switzerland peels the guard or splits the house.
Ja, gleich hoch.
So electing to keep that corner guard in play. It's fairly wide guard, so it'd be a little hard for Germany to maybe generate scoring two using that guard. So just splitting the house here, really looking for the force.
Switzerland very much in control in this game.
Die Line.
Could have peeled the guard and would have had the blank end, but drawing to the side here, it shows that Switzerland really wants to force Germany to score the one, and then getting hammered themselves and trying to control the game, having that last one advantage.
Bleib dort, Marki.
Good separation of the two yellow stones there. Meantime, let's head for sheet C again. Norway against Russia. Second end. And what is the Russian response?
Russia were looking good to score there too, pretty much the whole end here. Norway wasn't quite able to do anything with it, and this would be a nose hit for two. So tied up after two ends, I guess.
Yeah, that one just on the outside counting. Not a Russian team we're used to seeing.
Yeah, a bit of a fresh squad for the week, although we have seen skipper Alexei Cheslov a number of times. Been around the block more than once.
Hat zwar voll Shotplatz.
Wonder, I haven't seen him this week, but I think he still plays with that good old backswing, lift delivery on the big peels, the upweight shots. One of very few players to still do so.
It's still very strange to see. It's the 50th anniversary of the World Curling Federation this year, and I was looking at some old footage and saw examples of that. Very odd.
Definitely a lot of interesting deliveries through the decades.
Yeah. The game has moved on considerably.
Yeah, there's still different slides and styles, but there is a bit of a standard still. So Switzerland makes that nose hit now. Germany maybe eyeing up a double.
Double. Do you think it's on?
Yeah, I think so. Baumann can throw really hard too. Seen him make some cracking shots
And
before.
possibly feels more confident about making this type of shot than the draws, the gentle weight. All curlers like making these shots though, don't they?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if he's playing the double or actually just playing the hit and roll. I guess we'll find out shortly.
What do you think, folks out there? What would you do? What's he going to do?
I think he's playing the hit and roll. He's not playing too much weight at this, so. This one's starting to overcurl, I think. Does roll, but just not far enough, and that's going to leave Switzerland with a chance to.
That's just in no man's land, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not having a good start to this first round robin game.
Didn't mind maybe playing the double. Almost looked like an easier shot. And could have been a bit of a confidence booster as well. I think we have a polite crowd in. We might have gotten a little applause if you made a double, even against a home team. So.
Crowd like watching those shots too. I'm sure we'll have plenty of them this week.
So again, Switzerland just forcing Germany here to try and score their one. Sven Michael just looking for a nose hit, maybe a tiny roll. It's pretty good there. This time it's going to force Baumann to play a hit, actually, score. Having played draws both in the first and second, and maybe third time's the charm.
So this time, what can he do? Last stone of the third end.
It's a pretty important shot here. I can't really afford to give up another steal, and also for morale, just kind of have to make a shot here.
Yep.
And reset.
For his own confidence.
This one will actually over curl, but lucky enough we'll catch on that wide yellow. So even though he scores one, he's not going to maybe be too confident with that throw.
I think he almost smiled there, but not.
Yeah, it's more of a sigh of relief than anything.
Not entirely comfortable so far. After 3, Germany 1, Switzerland 2.
So viel runter. Vorne 8. 12. Ja, wird gut. Na, weg. Ja, wird gut, wird gut. Weg. Oh, das ist super. Weg. Guter.
So we're into end number 4 of this our feature game between Germany and Switzerland. 2-1, as you can see, to the Swiss. They certainly look more comfortable thus far.
Well, they're definitely comfortable enough to throw the corner guard here. Being 1 up, you might see some teams maybe just try and come around the center guard and keep it all simple, but certainly wanting to put some stones in play here and score there to try and win the game. They're probably confident, feeling they're a better team than Germany, so they just want to go out and play their best and make shots and put some scores up on the board early on. Don't want to keep this game too tight.
Things can still happen though, even if you're the more experienced team.
So that first guard from Germany came very tight to the rings, and normally you think that's pretty good to have a tight guard, but it's almost too tight because you make a good draw around here. It's a pretty short run back for Switzerland actually. And that's why I think they're putting up a second guard, knowing that the first one's not going to make do. So 2 nice center guards on line. And again, with that free guard zone, Simon Gempler not allowed to remove the guards. They have called for a draw to come around. Did actually move up and to play at second position for Sven Michael for a little while. They had a bit of a squad rotation. That was before the Pfister brothers came into play. Now back to his more comfortable role at lead.
He used to have Benoit Schwartz in his team, didn't he, a few years ago?
He was sparing as a fifth,
Yeah.
and he came on to play some games. But
Meantime, on sheet A, Sweden against Japan. Of course, Sweden, the defending champions. 1-1 up to the third end.
you see the directional sweeping from Christian Lindström there. Keep it straight, no problems.
Couple of shots picked up there. Sweden with the lead, 3-1 after 3.
Meanwhile, we see Mark Mskatowicz just coming up 2 feet heavy there and slipping off the yellow, leaving that red zone accessible for Switzerland.
Sweden are indeed one of the favourites here, but no team has ever retained this title since 2003 when it was Canada, Randy Ferbey. So attempting to do something that hasn't been done for quite some time, but they will be in the mix for sure.
Well, I think they were looking to roll to the wing there. Just over curls a wee bit. Germany will be, well, the backline is quite an international term. Just a backline weight here, and just tap that Yellowstone out. Try and roll the shooter up on top of the second one. Curling early.
Yeah, you can see it coming now, and it's going to catch that guard.
It's a bit of an inverted situation right now where Switzerland with the last stone have 2 in the forfeit, and it's Germany with the stone in behind the corner. So Sven is a bit of at a loss what to do.
But he's in a good position.
You'd love to put another in the forfeit, but then again, you always try not to put all your stones in the forfeit along that center line. So he's a little bit unwilling to do so, but I think the call is to draw in there. Just in the pocket of those 2 yellows. Just feels a bit unnatural to play around too much or along the center line area when you have last stone. So. Simon Gempler really working this one to get it past, and they have. That's a very nice draw indeed by Enrico Pfister.
Good Swiss crowd in to support their team, hoping for more success. Ooh, nicely squeezed past there, and a nice shot.
We often see replays of the big weight shots, but perfectly executed draw is just as nice for me to watch.
A joy to watch,
oh, yeah.
Indeed, and requiring a lot of skill.
So Germany makes a little run back there.
There they all are, watching, riveted to the action, and listening out to what their players are saying.
Als die blijven bij... Met een 9 vielleicht. Maar weiss nicht, vielleicht geht aber auch ganz raus. Aber haben wir immer noch da. Nur ein 10. Wir müssen einfach sicher rollen. Komm 9. 9 mit 3/4 Marke. Okay. Wie schnell? 9. 9 3/4 treffen van uit.
What were his concerns there?
Well, again, if you play the nose hit here, you leave 3 yellows pretty much grouped, and Germany might be able to remove all of them. So they're probably just looking for a bit of separation here, and I'm not sure if they're not quite sure which way they're rolling. I wonder if they're rolling towards the corner guard and actually wanting to clip their yellows a little bit, getting that back yellow just to move a little bit to the back of the house. But that's basically what they wanted to do, but they just wanted to keep the shooter in play as well. Because you'll see both those yellows actually in behind the guard now, so they kind of did that the same, and keeping the shooter around would have been a perfect shot, but just had to curl a bit more.
Langsam. 50. 4. Dat was schon mehr, glaube ich. Was mehr ist. Ja, okay, ja, aber. Isaac!
Well, this is going to be a complete miss from Manuel Walter. They were, I believe they were calling for 15 seconds, as in first hog line to the tee line, and as soon as he let go, you heard the sweepers calling out 12-13. So I think he just overthrew that one, and obviously it's going to curl less.
Does happen occasionally, even at this level.
Sicher besser wieder rot, ha?
So now Switzerland's just going to put the stone where they were wanting the shooter to end up in on their previous shot. Just kind of keeping some separation. See the hog-to-hog watch back on the screen. I guess we're looking for maybe 14 seconds, maybe 14.12. 13.9 should be pretty close. We'll rub off the red. Finds a nice spot. And Baumann in a bit of trouble here.
And we've said that for the last 3 ends, really.
The only problem is this time he doesn't have the last stone. So I guess we're looking at a hit and roll here. Again, going to over curl.
Didn't roll far, did it?
I think we've seen that a lot. Basically, every shot Baumann's thrown is over curled, and I wonder if he's struggling with the amount to curl a little bit, not being maybe as positive with his throws and as some of the other players. Yeah, stones were, I believe, scratched yesterday, as in basically run the stones over a bit of sandpaper to get a little more curl, and they're a little bit aggressive the first couple of days, and you need to be a little more positive.
Sandra, all these stones have come from Lillehammer, from the Youth Olympic Games, so they'll have been fixed up and all the necessary preparations done ahead of this championship. And well travelled.
You will see some of that aggressive curl probably come off after a few days of play, and it'll be a little more subtle, but again, that's something the players will be used to. Another nice shot by Switzerland. They're making most of their shots here, not having to do anything too fancy either.
Yep, that's the difference. Keeping it simple, doing it well.
See, Sven, look at his eyes, looking down, up, down, up. It's
down just before he releases.
Yeah, he'll do that every time. He's done that as long as I've seen him play. And some coaches might say that you shouldn't be doing that, but certainly worked for Sven Michael. So
yeah, more often see just looking ahead and then just down after the release, don't you?
I think yeah, most players do that, but there is a fair bit of players that will look down as well.
What do you do? I can't remember.
I believe I look straight ahead.
Right, okay. Check next time we see you on the ice.
I might not look it because I'm not really. Usually, don't hit the broom that well, so.
Not at all.
Well, this is a bit of an important shot for Baumann here. He's going to have to pull off a good one.
Under pressure again. Towards the end of this fourth end.
So playing the hit and roll off the wing here, maybe try and roll in between those other two yellows. And he's going to roll, but
miss it completely.
Yeah, roll too far.
Goodness gracious.
It's going to leave a draw for 3.
He always looks slightly surprised as well, as if to say, what happened there? Just overdid it, basically.
Maybe played too much weight for my liking. I'm not sure if they were looking for the straight roll or actually the double to try and stick it in behind, but either way, it just didn't really work out.
A poor result for Germany. Poor outcome. And now look at that. 2 yellows, 2 Swiss stones in there.
Yeah, same path they would have drawn in practice for the last on advantage prior to the start of the game, so they should have a pretty good grasp of what it's doing. And we did see them play this very draw when they came into the pocket of the 2 yellows just a few rocks ago, so I think this is a pretty routine shot for them. And this one just settling into the forfeit. Well, it's back of the 8 anyway.
Nearly. So Germany will have to regroup. They don't seem too unhappy at the moment, but Switzerland must be delighted with the way things have gone thus far. After 4, Germany 1, Switzerland 5. You see action on all 4 sheets in the St. Jakobshalle. We're here in Basel, Switzerland for the World Men's Curling Championship 2016. This is the first set of round-robin games, and there's the numbers thus far in the featured game, Germany against Switzerland. 3 for the Swiss in end number 4. And really, it didn't come as a surprise. Germany definitely on the back foot throughout the first 4 ends. A chance to make amends though in end number 5.
Switzerland was very good at preventing Germany from scoring 2 in the start, and as soon as they got the last one advantage themselves, they really put some stones in play at scoring 3. I wonder if they were maybe thinking back to their game at the European Championships in Esbjerg, where they lost to Germany, and a very uneventful game. Germany won 3 shots to 2 in a 10-end game, so they were maybe hoping to.
Would they have not played each other since then in any capacity on the tour, or?
I'm not sure if this German team has the same kind of funding as the Swiss team, traveling around playing as many tournaments.
Just maybe lacking a bit in international experience and opportunity, because you do get better playing better teams, don't you? So here we go with Sweden against Japan. Have a look at that one on sheet A. 4th end. Sweden 3-1 up. And Japan attempting to get back into this. And it's nicely played. Nicely played indeed. They do get 2 back. High fives all round. 3-3, level game. Meantime, the bells are going amongst the fans watching Germany against Switzerland in our featured game.
Ganz kurze. Oh. Ganz kurze. Der Schwein. Ja, geht runter. Muss runter. Ganz kurze. Ganz kurze. Oh, Schlag, weg. Oh. Okay. Gut. Probieren, aber sicher da. Ja. Ein Drittel ist perfekt. Drittel.
So free guard zone no longer in play, so Switzerland will be allowed to make a hit on the corner guard here, and they might even try and make the double here with Enrico Fester's in turn. 1-2, there we go. That is incredible.
Yeah, he made that look easy.
Not even disturbing his own stones in the house there. Gently, that shooter gently sliding past both of them.
Beautifully judged.
That is a good way to kill morale.
When you're down as well. 2 of your stones have gone. 2 of your stones that could help you score.
Manuel! Hard! Manuel, fest! Hard, Manuel! Hard! Nur von der Freeze! Hard! Linie ist perfekt! Vorne drauf! Wow! Weiter von drauf! Hard!
So no guards in play for Germany. You're gonna have to try and use these yellow stones. That's a really good draw, actually. Almost fully frozen onto that back hill, forcing Switzerland to play a run back here, I think.
It's a close one here. Oh.
See a beautiful swing in the end there. Really lively stones.
Nicely hidden.
Oh, that's what you call a nice pair of shots. Double on the guards on the first one, makes a perfect run back on the second. Not leaving Germany with too much to play around with.
Bang, bang. Away they go.
Seems like the ice conditions are very good. You have the keen, swingy ice to play an aggressive game, but then you also have lively rocks, so you can make them fly. So I think we're going to see a lot of great shots being made this week. Seen a couple of good ones already.
Interested spectators watching the action and having a little bite to eat, a little refreshment. And there at that table is the president of the World Curling Federation, Keith Ness, just on your right there. And enjoying the curling. Thomas Bach and his wife, the IOC president, Thomas Bach.
It's not a bad way of enjoying a curling game, is it?
Yeah, it's good to me. Where's our champagne?
Yeah. I believe I saw a pair of clown pants there on the back of one of the chairs. I wonder if Norway's awarded Thomas Bach with a little present.
Ah, I can see Thomas Bach in those trousers. So let's check on sheet C, Norway against Russia. Those pants, there they are. And of course Thomas Ulsrud in them. With the last stone. 2-2 against Russia. This last stone. Looking Mike, yep, there's another red one in there, another Norwegian stone. So another 2 on the board for Norway. They lead 4-2 after 4.
Well, Germany all of a sudden lying 2 after that miss by Switzerland. And I believe Mark Pfister is going to try and double these stones off. 1 and 2, there we go.
Another lovely shot.
Yeah, the belt blade shots from these two brothers are superb. You're going to have to be very accurate. You can't leave an angle. And this might just happen. This looks routine, doesn't it?
It does, and you know, just getting those, the line, they just have to be absolutely spot on. Very well judged.
So Germany with the last little desperate, trying to score 2, looking to freeze this open yellow. Doesn't quite curl enough, and
yeah, everything seems to be just not quite curl enough with Germany.
yeah,
or too much curl.
Yeah.
It's that bit in the middle that they just can't quite get there.
just the wrong side of the inch a lot throughout the game so far. Tad heavy, tad short.
Still another 5 ends after this one, but they don't want to go any further behind. 5-1 down. both go. So yellow. Swiss counter.
I was quite happy to remove his own yellow there, just not leave a pocket for Germany to freeze into, leaving one yellow in play. They're very much in control of the situation. This freeze is going to have to be just absolutely perfect for them to score 2. But if anything, it's a good chance for Baumann to practice his draw weight, figure out the ice.
Yeah, which might well be needed later on. How about the coaches? Oh, the clocks, the timers, if you like, how much time they've got to go. And they do have to glance up there occasionally. They haven't been hanging about too long in this game, have they? They've been about average, I think.
No, I think they're doing well. I don't think time's going to be a big problem for either team.
No big discussions.
I think they've changed their mind here. Allison just looking for the nose hit. Probably just realizing that even a perfect freeze isn't going to do very much, and if they ever miss it, you might leave Switzerland with a chance to lie too and force them to score a single. So just playing the hit and expecting the same from Sven Michael, and they'll probably try and blank the end and retain last on advantage for the 6th end.
Doesn't look too unhappy at the moment. Still of the 5th. Oh. Hangs about that red stone. That wasn't the plan. Oh, he says, right, we need to get ourselves sorted here. Let's go for a break. Have a chat about things. And come back for part 2. Close the gap, but only by 1. And they don't have the hammer in the 6th end. So teams offer quick refreshment and a break.
So some highlights from first 5 ends. Our future game, Germany-Switzerland. So Switzerland steal 1 in the first end, where Baumann's draw just over curled, and in the 2nd end, line not an issue, but weight rather. This one slipping all too far, and the Swiss team is picking up another easy steal. And 2 up in the 3rd. You would see Baumann play all nose hit to score his 1. This one also over curling, but lucky enough to catch that yellow on the wing. But would still be trailing by 1 point after 3 ends of play in the 4th end. Switzerland had hammer for the first time and put some stones in play. Really paid off for them. Sven Michael left a pretty routine draw to the forfeit to score 3. And even though this one slips onto the back of the house, it's good enough. And Germany with that on first error, scoring one in the 5th. It is Switzerland leading 5 shots to 2. If we have a look at Korea, Scotland, it is Tom Brewster with his last stone of the 5th end already, well, sitting 2nd shot, so this looks like a nose hit to score 2. Cammy McMillan Jr. and Ross Patterson on the sweep. Glenn Muirhead at the head, skipping the line. And didn't really need a lot of help there, Tom Brewster. It was a good throw and sticks around, scores 2. They'll lead the game 4 shots to 1 over Korea at halftime. We also have Norway, Russia just next to our future sheet. It's a bunch of headstones in there as Alexei Cheselov, 4th for Team Russia. Bruce looking for a little hit and roll off the stone in the forefoot. Even a nose hit is good enough to score 1. And Norway will be leading that game 4 shots to 3 after 5 ends of play. As we see the other games, the other scores, it's Sweden leading 4 shots to 3 over Japan. Those 2 games we just give you updates from. 4 games, of course, every draw of the World Men's, 12 teams participating, so a bunch of teams not playing here this afternoon, but will more than likely play this evening. Thomas Lips on the left, team coach, handing German boys some helpful advice, having a bit of a rough start to the Worlds. Still 5 ends to go, 3 down, so not over yet. Also have Robert Hurliman, team coach and also national coach of Switzerland, Andy Schwaller down there with the Swiss boys. A few fist bumps before we get ready for the 6th end. And a few stats for you. You'll see clear difference in percentage. Switzerland throwing 91% as a team, Germany at 71%. That 20% difference really being shown on the scoreboard. And with 2 steals for Switzerland, they've just really been the better team after 5 ends. And Germany is going to have to up their game a little bit to make this a close one.
Go, 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 go!
You're watching live coverage from the World Men's Curling Championship 2016. This is the St. Jakobshalle in Basel in Switzerland. Very impressive arena. Crowd can watch 4 games going on. But most of the ones that are in here are interested in this one, involving the home country, Switzerland. So the teams have had a chat, Sander, and a bit of refreshment. What will they have been saying in the German camp?
Well, there's not much you can say rather than just keep a light tone and say, well, right guys, so let's go back out there and make some shots. That's really what it's about. I'm not a sports psychologist either. It seems to be working for my teams up through the years anyway. Nothing too fancy. What you definitely don't want to do is start discussing things that has already happened in the game. That's something you can do after the game a debrief, just look ahead for the next 5 ends and kind of reset and refresh.
And that's very different from learning from what's happened in the previous 5, as in ice and lines and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, that could be a thing they might be discussing. They could be discussing the ice a little bit, thinking curls a bit more here, less there, and so on. Just so the whole team kind of agrees that they've all found the same thing. Constructive things.
Yeah, yeah.
As we see Switzerland pulling out a bit of a defensive move, drawing to the wing. You know what they're saying by calling that shot is, we don't really want any guards in play. You don't really need to score any more points. We're already up 3, so just kind of telling Germany to, you know, put some stones in play if they want to score. We're going to keep it simple. And obviously leaving that yellow stone on the wing might be a stone they can score with, so just adding a tiny bit of pressure for Germany.
Simon Gempler has had an exemplary first 5 ends.
We'll be looking to keep that start for the game.
Absolute crucial role in the team, the lead player, setting the stones up. Simon from Adelboden.
Well, I wonder if his 100% is out the window there. All depending on how how nice the person scoring is. That just slipping a tiny bit too deep, allowing Germany to freeze onto it. They were wanting to keep that a little bit higher.
How many percentages did you lose for that?
If you're harsh, you give him a 2 or 50%, maybe probably a 75.
Ah.
Usually the scoring system we use here is either 0 points, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And 4 being 100%. And you'll see the result here. Germany able to freeze onto that yellow and having shot stone. And they wouldn't have had that possibility if that draw from Gempler was a bit 2 feet shorter. So that was the only problem with the draw, really.
Enrico Pfister, he's 88%, second for Switzerland.
He's made some cracking shots, though.
Yeah, so we've seen some nice doubles.
Does not quite pull off the double here, though. Just over curled by a tad. Leaves one red center guard.
He's an electrician from Bern.
Germany quite happy with lying shot at the moment. They're just going to throw the guard and hope that Switzerland doesn't make that double peel. We'll leave an angle, and I wonder if...
Oh, I think they'll have a go at that, won't they?
I would think so. And if you're really good, you might even pick that red stone in the forefoot as well. But surely the primary object here is just to run the guards off.
Ooh, and he misses it.
Just by a hair.
But gets one.
Genau, perfekt. Mittlere. Gut, mittlere. Lange mittlere. Ja, Sebastian. Ja, hard. Minus gut. Go, 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 go. Noch bitte. Oh, noch bitte. Oh.
Just trying to plug that route.
Perfekt. Wunderbar.
Stop Switzerland. Let's head over to sheet A, Sweden and Japan, 5th end. Now it's still 3-3. Nicholas Edin with the last stone. Tight game here against Japan. And you can see there's perhaps 2 yellows in there. So this has to be millimetre perfect. And it is. So it's just the one though for Sweden. They take a 4-3 lead now after 5.
Meanwhile, Mark Pfister just made a really nice slash double on the guards. Makes it a little more scary for Germany with 2 yellows on the house. And when they throw this guard, it's going to have to be quite perfect for not Switzerland to be able to come after that shot stone. We're going to have to take that risk at this point anyway.
Schlang! 1 Meter vors Haus! Oh, smart! Ist gut! Nicht gut! Okay, viel! Weg! Mittlere! Oh, weg! Okay, das ist gut. Schön. Wunderbar.
Happy with that.
93.
Yeah, I would say that's maybe a tad too long. Maybe over curled at an inch too. Definitely possible for Switzerland to come after that on the intern side and remove it. And I think they're going to take this chance to do it because obviously it would be very hard for Sven Michael to draw for 1 with that red stone there. So,
And they're playing with confidence, so that always gives you that extra.
yeah, you could peel the center guard, but Germany might put a better guard on their next shot. So feeling that this is the best time to make that move and try and remove the shot stone. We'll have the directional sweeping here from Enrico Pfister.
Is there enough on this?
That's a very good shot indeed.
Look at that, the 3 yellows. Bit of effort went into that one, the sweeping, but it paid off.
Ja, das hat alle selber immer gehabt, das ist schon gut, so sind wir schon zu sagen. Ja, nicht gewusst, so, dass wir nicht vorankommen. Das ist recht geil. Recht lang kann haben, aber am Schluss.
I wonder they didn't want us to hear what he was saying. Always it's such great insight, isn't it? Being able to hear what the players are thinking and looking ahead to their shots. Real privilege to get into that world. You don't see it in any other sport, really. How often have we said it? Another pressure shot for Alex Baumann. He's down to 60%. The German skip not having an easy time of it. If you could pull one off here. Look how far that curled round.
Pretty good shot by Baumann. That's my second shot, and they have a chance to make a tap on that if they want to on their next one.
Im Out, oder? Ja, ist ja gleich, wenn es die annimmt. Ja. Ich würde sogar so. Der kommt einer mitspielen. Ja. Noch zu Hause noch. Soll ich probieren, so zu nehmen? Ja, kannst, aber wenn es nicht geht, ist auch gut.
So Switzerland's just going to peel the centre guard here, open things up, and just make sure they can score. And by doing so, Switzerland should be left with a decent chance to score a single no matter what Germany does. So that's the plan. I believe they also want to peel that corner guard, as it's sort of in the way of that out-turn draw path if they're ever drawing the button to score on the out-turn side. But they're not going to, just peeling the center. Now Germany just looking at the angles here, wondering if that yellow shot stone might just shoot back onto the back red. They make a play on that red-yellow combination.
Coming up to have a look. First real time we've seen any discussion in this game.
Ja, den wird er auch probieren dann, weil der ist für...
Wir müssen schieben, oder?
Aber das Schieben, dann liegt leicht schräg und dann knallt er genauso drauf.
Nase schieben, dass der hier liegt. Das ist halt das Problem, wir dürfen nicht schräg liegen.
Wollen wir den hinten Nase abspielen?
Ja, auch schon überlegt, aber...
Wollen wir den hinten Nase abspielen? Aber es ist nur so Trauer in der Vierfuß. Ne?
Halt in der Garten?
Nein, wir haben noch einen Timeout, also prinzipiell.
Halt in der Garten?
Ich würde sagen, hinten den abspielen. Nase.
Du musst halt liegen.
Das Problem ist, er darf halt auch nicht rollen.
Ja, nee, doch, da dürfte er schon rollen, das wäre okay.
Ja, aber in eine andere Richtung nicht.
Das geht auch nicht.
Ja.
Den?
Hey, genau Nase.
Germany red, Switzerland yellow.
Du willst halt Shot werden, oder? Du willst...
Der ist halt für zwei hergeschickt.
Ja.
Das ist zwei hergeschickt.
Das andere...
Dass wir jetzt mit dem Shot liegen reinmachen. Und müssen hoffen, dass wir irgendwie Nase...
Seems like they're leaning towards making a shot. It makes it difficult for Switzerland to score two rather than stealing, but maybe looking to...
Can they get rid of two of the yellows?
Wenn du genau Nase triffst, leicht innen, weil der rutscht hier ein Stück drüber.
Ja, das ist gut. Genau Nase?
Minimal, genau, Tick innen vielleicht.
Alright, so they will try and move the shot stone and perhaps set up for a steal. It's not the best of situations, but
Right decision.
yeah, I think so. They really need to think about the angles here and where they're tapping things and how they're leaving, what kind of stagger they're leaving on the reds. They're playing a tap on this red stone, wanting that yellow shot stone to go to the back four and try and set up an angle where the red stone might jam onto the yellows for Switzerland.
See a great line there into the melee, if you like.
I guess they just feel like they have to give it a go here. That's a pretty good shot by the very first look, anyway.
He is counting.
It's exactly what they were looking to do there. Just tap that Yellowstone just out of the 4-foot delay shot, and you'll see if Switzerland makes a hit on those red stones, that red shot stone will just run back onto the back yellow. And I'm not sure if there's a big enough gap in between the yellows to spill the red.
So now Sven Mikkel has a bit of a headache.
Definitely is a gap in behind the yellows. The drag effect might come into play. If you hit the top red on the left-hand side, you might see that second red in the top, the 4-foot drag a little bit to the right-hand side. You might be able to squeeze it through the hole, but depends a little bit on how much drag we get from these rocks. think it's pretty close.
Wie willst du genau? Ein bisschen innen musst du schon. Ich würde sagen, so 2/3 innen oder halb. 2/3 innen so? Ja, mit Intern. Ja, aber Carlo. Was meinst du, halb treffen? Weniger nicht. Was? Weniger nicht mehr. Ja. Nicht weniger, oder? Ja, mehr als halb. Halb oder ein bisschen mehr. Ja.
So I think that's the call here, Alison. I believe they're talking about hitting that top red about half a rock. And as I mentioned, you might see that drag effect. That second red in the
Which
top
way
of the
does it
forefoot,
go?
that will drag a little bit to the right as we just saw it. And hopefully then for Switzerland through the hole of the 2 yellows at the back. So this is a pretty tough shot. Making a half a rock hit is not too hard, but it's just about figuring out the angles.
Yeah, what happens next, basically.
We'll see how that pans out for them here. Well, I think that's good for 2.
That's not a bad result at all. Difficult shot. Certainly got 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were looking to drag it clean through the hole or they were looking to do exactly what they were doing, but anyways, it worked out.
Good stuff from Team Switzerland. Continue to control this one. And it's a 2 that goes up on the scoreboard. And that gives them, after 6, 5-shot advantage. Germany 2, Switzerland 7.
Ganz in 4. Schauen. Ist gut. Ganz 4 nochmal nicht zu tief. Nein. Gut. Sicher hier, oder? Gut so.
So we're into end number 7 now. Oh, this is our featured game between Germany and Switzerland. A 7-2 advantage for the Swiss team, who really haven't put a stone wrong, really. Everything's gone more or less according to plan for them. Germany really need to try and get something to show for this 7th end. Get back into this game, still got time.
Ganz ja! Vorn so! Bis hier! Vorab! Ganz 8 sicher! Vorab! Linie ist gut! Länge ist gut! Deutlich genug! Linie ist perfekt! Vorne 2! Vorne 2! Ganz ja! Ganze 8, Linie ist perfekt.
So we're going to check on sheet B now. Korea, Scotland. Scotland 4-1 up. Started very well. They're in the 6th end now. And Korea trying to get back into this game. Let's see what awaits them, Sander. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Was that 3-0, oh my goodness, for the 3-point start
Well,
Scotland just stole?
yes. Yep, that is a sore one for Team Korea. Good from a Scottish point of view. That gives them a 7-1 lead.
Well, that Korean team has been really up and down a little bit throughout the curling season.
Either
This
really
year, they've
good
been-
or really...
Yeah, they've been fairly,
pulling it
yeah.
off. So you never know which Korean team is going to come out.
They've had a really good run, a few spills this season, so I think we might see better displays from them later on in the week.
Hoping to get that other one. Are they going to catch it? So there we go. That's the current situation. Sheet A, Sweden 4, Japan 3. That Korea-Scotland game you've just seen, the Scots 7-1 up. Norway 4, Russia 3 in the 7th. And in our featured game, it is 7-2 to Switzerland. And the Swiss team must be feeling very confident at this stage. Played well.
Vorne drauf. Ganz hinten. Ganz hinten. Noch weiter. Ja.
So Germany was first calling the freeze on the shot zone, but the front end wanting to come around everything. So I'm going to put this in the back 8, back 12 even.
Horn, Manuel. Fest. Sebastian. Horn. Komm, weiter geht's. Ganz weg. Komm, weiter geht's.
I have to say this looks pretty good. That's exactly what they called.
Wunderbar.
It's very hard to get to that red stone if you're Switzerland. That was the whole point. Leaving those yellow stones sitting 1 and 2 and looking to deal with that later on in the end.
Schau mal, der Best, ha? Bis in den Groove. Hin 8.
And forcing Switzerland to make a draw themselves. So they're actually going to follow this red stone down and freeze it.
Komm mal hinten. Hin 8. Zegli. Linie ist gut. Komm mal, Lengi. Gut, Lengi. Braucht der Auflage. Ja. Tia. Hinten 8. Tia. Komm mal, hinten 8. Linie. Tia.
Curling now. Finally.
Freeze, go, Jungs, go. Nimm 2 Körner. Go. That's good.
Not completely frozen, but still pretty good there. And that's 3 yellow stones that Germany needs to move out the 8-foot to bring that back red into to score. And I believe they're just going to start with the top one here, play a little hit and roll. Ends up making a double there. Might see Sven call a run back here. You could definitely run that top red back onto your own yellow and then yellow onto the back red if you want to, but I believe they're just looking at just a controlled hit and roll here. maybe keeping that first option in mind.
Go, get me. That's on.
Does the trick.
Hey, brauchen wir den jetzt schon? Oder spielen wir nochmal eine Kamera und den rum? Den kann man auch mit einem noch wegspielen. Vielleicht erstmal rundherum daher. Fände ich nicht schlecht. So.
Ah, ich würde den schon wegnehmen.
Bin zu früh. Ich auch. Erstmal T-Line.
Aber hinten nach.
Ja, nicht zu tief. Ja, ja. Stück over T. Das erstmal wieder was zu tun hat. Ja, ein bisschen.
Bisschen weniger, Alex.
I believe you asked if these teams have met each other on the tour this season, and I can tell you that you have played twice. First time was early on in the season at the Baden Masters in Switzerland, where Germany lost to Switzerland 0-7.
Oh, right. Well, it was early on, so we hadn't quite got going at that point. And then
in January they played the German Masters in Hamburg, so they played both on Swiss and German soil once, but Switzerland also winning in Hamburg, 8-4 in the quarterfinals of the German Masters.
so a bit closer there.
And well, of course, we mentioned that game at the European Championships, where Germany did win 3-2 in Esbjerg.
So 3 yellow counters there. Let's check on sheet B again, that Korea-Scotland game. 7th end. So 1 for them in the previous. Can they manage to score here? He makes it this time. I think that's 2 reds, which takes them to 3. Korea 3, Scotland 7 after 7.
Nice little hit and roll from Walter.
Wunderbar.
Switzerland looking at those angles, see if can get the Reds flying by running the corner guard back onto the yellow-red combination on the left side.
Sonst haben wir da sicher einen Weg, oder?
Ja, da geht's gut.
Ich glaube nicht, dass mit Beinen liegen kann.
Ja, ist noch ein bisschen hier drin.
Also der zweite muss hier treffen, oder? Ich muss ein bisschen so brechen, oder?
Genau. Ja. Also genau gerade? Ah, ein bisschen innen. Ich würde sogar sagen,
würde ich schon.
Ein bisschen innen, ja. So wäre gut.
Und wir können direkt clearen, aber...
I believe Sven was saying, playing this, you might jam that 1 red, but at least 1 red will go. So I think they'll have a crack at this. Yellow, yellow, red, yellow, red. Simple enough.
What's the plan?
For now, anyway. Well, I think they've changed the call now, actually. I'm just going to pick this red stone, I believe, that Walter just
You
played.
got me all excited there about lots of stones moving about. I love that.
Yeah, I was wanting to see what would happen. Oh, I think you're getting what you asked for. I think they've gone back to the first call.
Right, folks, get ready.
The question is where that top red's going to go. If it's going to perfectly jam on the back hill, or will you see both reds fly?
Here we go, here we go. Oh!
Actually, bit of a miss there from Saint Michael. Doesn't make contact with that combo at the top 12.
All that expectation there, all that build-up.
I guess we'll never find out.
The margins are just so tiny that, you know, it can happen.
Well, that sometimes happen when you go back and forth between calls, and even he made his way back down to the hack and was ready to throw. They ended up changing the call, and that's just
maybe that just threw him a bit in some way.
It's definitely something you'll see coaches at least tell the younger teams that if you want to change a call, you should make your way back down to the house, call the shot, come back down, have that same pre-shot routine.
Yep.
With not having anything disturb you. More experienced players might skip that sometimes.
Yeah, there's no need to rush when you're switching a decision like that. I guess he's 7-2 up though, so now what can Alex Bowman come up with in response?
They're playing a hit and roll off the back yellow, but this one catching curl very early. It's not the first time we've seen Bowman over curl a shot, and they're actually going to leave it to over curl completely, not to jam that yellow on the red.
Not again. Not again.
It's that intern. It's just over curling more than once on him. Could be the stone, but it does seem like he gets those stones a bit started. And if they did think it was the stone, they'd probably switch that early on.
Release.
I'm not sure if it's positive enough, really. A lot of players will throw their stones a little bit inside out, meaning they'll be a little bit narrow on the broom, and then they'll throw it a little bit away, a little bit outside. In doing that, the stones will track
almost
straight
overcompensate,
longer.
don't you? Yeah.
Well, he throws them quite clean, I guess, but they tend to start curling very early for Bowman, especially with these newly scratched stones. You just kind of have to be sometimes a little more positive than usual.
You tell the stone what to do rather than the stone telling you. Because they do speak to you, don't they?
Sometimes you think
you
spend too much time in the curling club anyway. Right, so it's going to have another crack at this. This time, one less stone to
deal with.
Yep. And there we go. Both reds will fly as planned.
Nicely done. Oh, Sven, Mikael.
That's exactly what they were looking for on the previous shot. This time made it all easier with that guard not being there. And that red stone did not perfectly jam. Just enough to spill out.
There we go.
Only one stone left in the house for Bowman, and I believe he'll just try and blank this end. Keep the last stone advantage. We did see him miss that attempt earlier in the game. He was looking to blank and ended up sticking around and scoring one.
Yeah, one isn't an awful lot used to him at this stage.
This one also curling, Alison.
It's away.
It's good enough. A little close for comfort, perhaps.
So, as was, after 7, Germany 2, Switzerland 7.
Ja, weil du fast nicht anders machen, weil die Garten da sind. Ja,
You're watching live coverage from the World Men's Curling Championship 2016. We're in the St. Jakobshalle in Basel in Switzerland. This is our featured game. It's between Germany and Switzerland. 7-2 to Switzerland. They've led right from the start. And Germany just haven't been able to make any inroads at all. But they do have the hammer in this end. Alison Walker and Sander Roback bringing you live commentary on this first round-robin game. Well, the German side really need to be positive in this end to get some zones set up, try and get a score. Comparison of the leads. He's just throwing it all the way through.
Ja. Mittlere. Ist der ein Meter, oder? Hä? Meter, 1,5? 2? So. Ja, 2. Welche Länge? Zehntel schneller habe ich. Ich glaube, da muss auch du wieder. Nach oben? Nein, der ist lang. Schlang. Nein, weg. Das ist gut. Ja. Oh. Ja, ein bisschen.
So the two guards up for the German team. Meantime, let's have a look at sheet C. It's our Norwegians against Russia. 4-3 to Norway. 7th end, last end blanked. Here's Osrud again with the last stone.
Yeah, but I believe he's playing the end off here of his own stone on the wing. And springing the shooter onto the L. There we go.
Oh, that's a lovely shot from Osrud. Wow, and how many is that? Is that 3? 3 of, oh, it's 8-3.
That's 4, I believe.
Shot 4. Wow. So Norway up and running for sure in this first round robin game. 8-3 lead over Russia. 7-2 in this our featured game. Another guard up by Germany.
Good.
Second players. Overall 87-71. Overall just better, full stop, just better in every area. Getting both
There we
guards as
go.
well.
Wow.
Right, it's going your way, it's going your way. He's played well in this game, hasn't he?
He's made some really nice shots, and to be perfectly honest, that was not even necessary to make the double there. Obviously, great to do so. He was playing with confidence and making some really nice shots here. Does leave a bit of a pocket for Germany, but it is in the top of the 8 foot, so they'll be lying third shot.
The thing is, they need stones in play, don't they? They need protection.
This is pretty close to a good shot. There we go.
One game, first game is finished in this round robin draw, and it's victory for the Scots. 9-3 over Korea. Tom Brewster skipped there. Very happy with that start, no doubt. And the big end there was end number 6, them getting a 3 over Korea.
So big weight from Pfister. Might see all 3 go here. 1, 2, 3. There we are. Everything goes around the horn. Leaves 1 stone in play. And that's the 1 stone Germany's going to try and use now as a guard. Just draw around it. More than enough room to even get shots thrown in behind here if they want to. Looking a bit wide for the moment. Really needing to curl. We got Mark Moskatovic.
It's coming a little bit now, but is it enough?
It's bending really big, Alison. Just a lovely finish on the ice here. Looked so wide, just crossing the hog line, and just made a huge bend at the end. Seemingly very good playing conditions.
Switzerland can see most of it. 2 third players. 86-71. Pfister over Walter. He's got his eye on this red stone, but I'm not sure it's going to.
Just looking for a little run back there, just couldn't quite pull it off, as I believe Norway's won a game.
They have, and you used to play with them, so you'll be pleased at that, Sander. Victory for Norway. They march on. They scored a 4, I think, in the 8th end, 7th end in that relay, and then a 3. And that sealed Russia's fate. 11-3 to Norway.
Chance for Germany to set up for 2 here.
This one's going on a bit.
Stick around. Doesn't leave a very natural double, and you might just see Switzerland play the nose hit here to sit 2. Germany definitely needs to score 2, preferably 3, to have any chance of winning this game. That does roll out here, actually. Sven Michael.
Didn't sound as if he was too unhappy about that.
Yeah, they're not going to be too upset if they give away a score of 2 here. But looks like Germany are they're looking to score 3, come around this yellow, leave 2 reds in the house, hope for another miss. The 3 might just be in play. At least putting a little bit of pressure on Sven Michael to make a good shot.
Wat länger! Warte! Ja, Boogie! Noch viel länger! Ja! Schau du länger! Jetzt die Linie tief auf! Viel länger!
So both sweepers involved for line, direction, just dragging it as far as they can, helping it to curl round.
It's a pretty good shot there, I'd say.
And here's another part of the story. Comparison of the 2 skips. Big difference.
Meinst du? Wir können schießen, aber... Kannst du noch hier herlegen? Ist auch gut. Wenn wir noch hier herlegen, kann er nicht mehr als 2 machen. Ja, weißt du, wenn der Fries hier kommt, kann er auch nicht 3 machen. Weißt du, falls er uns zu wenig Görli oder falls er aufsteigt. Ja. Hier kann er ja kein Doppelspielen, hängt immer hier an. Wir könnten sogar hinten 4 kommen, dem ein Müpfchen geben. Dann liegen wir mit 2. Wir können den Fries spielen. Weißt du, er liegt nicht so, dass der immer auf der Rote kommt.
Yeah, just looking back to the 4th end, where we saw Bauman's last stone, looking for a little hit and roll. Bit of a key moment where he just rolled a bit too far and left the draw for Switzerland to score that 3, and they would be 5-1 up after 4 ends of play. It was the first time Switzerland had hammer actually in the game, and they made good use of it. And after that, it's just really been Switzerland the whole way. They've been very good at the defensive shots and just kept their lead.
Yep, in confident mood, this Swiss team.
And now down to the last one for Switzerland here in the 8th end. They were discussing 2 options. Thinking, well, either we make a really good shot and Germany can't score even 2, or we make a safer call and just leave them a score of 2. The safer call, I think, was just to draw open in the forfeit, lead them a hit for 2. But they've gone for the freeze here. They're going to lock this on the red, knowing it might leave an angle to score 3. Well, I have to say, for the very first look, I'd say a 3 is in play here for Germany.
And if any team needed a 3 at this stage, it is Germany. That would change the whole complexion of this game.
Yeah, if they just drew that to the other side of the, well, on the centre line of the back 4 that we're looking at, it'd be a very, very skinny double to score 2. This is definitely makeable for Baumann. just about a nose hit, maybe a hair high. Try not to disturb that red stone in the back 8 foot. Pretty tough shot. But definitely a good time to make it.
Last stone of this 8th.
Could very
What will
well
he
be the
come
last
out
stone of the
with?
game if he doesn't make it.
Just not his day today, is it? Not his day. And another. What might have been. And they are calling it quits, as you predicted, Sander, with that miss. If he'd made that shot, it could have changed the whole game, but as it is, it's a steal of 1 for Switzerland, and that means they have won this game. The final score, Germany 2, Switzerland 8. Great start for the Swiss in front of their home crowd, and they'll be absolutely delighted with that, Sander. Off to a winning start.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good performance so far. They made a lot of good shots. Germany wasn't quite on point today, but can't take anything away from Switzerland. They pretty much made everything. Didn't have to do anything too fancy. We've got a lot of simple mistakes from the Germans, but they were able to execute. And when they did have the last one advantage, they did score a 3. So well-deserved win for Switzerland. And a good start for them. Germany having to regroup and have a bit of a chat and try and reset for their next game. As you see, there's only 1 game remaining out in the arena just now. It's Sweden playing Japan. And of course we will just pan over to sheet A, the opposite side of the rink, or the arena rather. And it is Sweden with the last one advantage. And we're in the 9th end. And this is Christian Lindström with a double to sit 2, I believe. And no problems. And it's Japan now having to try and group these red stones, and hopefully they'll be left a double to get out of the end. Being the 9th end and with Japan being 1 down, they're probably looking to steal here, but with no guards in play at this stage, the best hope is probably for a blank. And try again to steal in the 10th end. Oskar Eriksson, 3rd for Sweden. It's been around the game what feels like forever, really. Still at a very young age. He's actually skipped Sweden to the final of the World Junior Curling Championships already in 2008 as a 16-year-old. Has been very much in the game since then. And after Nicholas Edin's old team split up after the Sochi Olympics, Oskar Eriksson teamed up with Nicholas and brought along Christian Lindström and Kristoffer Sundgren. So nothing too interesting happening just now, just running down the stones. We're going to be looking at a blank end here, as it's all of a sudden a little bit quiet in the St. Jakobshalle with those 3 other games coming to a finish. All other games finished after 8 ends, actually. So we're down to skip rocks. And it is Yusuke Morozumi.
Line's good.
Just looking for the nose hit. This Japanese team has been around the block for a while themselves. So Nicholas Adine playing 78% so far. So last stone for Japan here in the 9th end. Yusuke Morozumi with his brother on the left, Kosuke Morozumi, and Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi on the sweep, with Tetsuro Shimizu vice skipping. And we're down to the last stone here in the 9th end. It's Nicholas Sedin with a fairly routine shot just to make this Yellowstone go away, roll the shooter out, blank the end, and retain the last stone advantage. And it will be a blank end, as we see most of the crowd staying put to watch the conclusion of this game. Having seen Switzerland just beat Germany earlier on in our broadcast. Just getting all bonus curling.
And end of this game between Sweden and Japan, the final game in this draw. 6-5 to the Swedes.
Yeah, we'll see a fairly classic formula for a 10th end, where Japan's going to try and throw two center guards on the center line with as much separation as possible. And with Sweden not being allowed to remove these stones from play, they're going to implement the tick shot, or the soft peel. And it's Kristoffer Sundgren looking to just move this yellow stone away from the center line. And he's done that quite well.
The Swedish team are the defending champions of the world. Won it in Halifax last year. This is Kazuki Morozumi, the lead for Japan. He's been having a good game. 86% is a good percentage. Morozumi was born in Nagano in Japan. Been on this team now for 8 years. His nickname's Kenny.
So looking for another tick shot here from Kristoffer Sundgren, playing 86%.
The same as his opposite number.
Again, very nice little tick shot here. And we'll roll the shooter into the house even.
Yep, you saw how that spun around there and back in.
So centre line pretty much open. That's two very nice shots by the Swedish lead. Does leave a bit of clutter around though, so what Japan's going to try and do now is throw another guard and hope that might catch on to one of those stones on the wing. So not wanting this one too deep makes it too easy, not too high. Just want to leave it at an angle where Sweden needs to hit it fairly thick or fairly thin to make it go away, and this one has slipped way too deep. So it's a very easy peel for Christian Lindström, second for Sweden. Little fun fact, his twin brother, Alexander Lindström, just won the Norwegian Championship this year.
So good pedigree in that family.
It's a bit strange to have a Swede win the Norwegian Championship, of course, but...
Yes, how is that possible? Might need to explain.
So you're allowed to do so, and he lives in Norway, so... I'm not encouraging other Swedes to do the same. we don't need their competition.
Well, if they're good enough, that's great rivalry between the two countries, of course. But it's a friendly rivalry, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Christian Lindström, he's 84%. So these players playing well here from Karlstad in Sweden.
Oh wow, that's a nice little bonus there to get the yellow stone on the house. Just a tiny bit less pressure for Niklas Hedin.
Still a relatively new team, this Swedish team, but they've had such a great couple of years, haven't they? Look at that, nicely done.
Well, I believe Niklas had a chance to defend, well, didn't get a chance to defend his title back in 2014, where Sweden decided to let Oscar Eriksson's young team go to Beijing. And well, they did quite well, getting a silver medal, just losing out to Norway in the final. And then after that, we did see that young team of Oscar Eriksson sort of merge with Niklas Hedin. And
two good batches of players coming together.
Yeah, now they have a chance together to defend the world title. So they've been quite dominant in the last 5 years of curling. And they play so much as well. I believe they even rented an apartment in Canada and lived there for a bunch of months.
They must have been desperate to get home after spending so much time away. But that they do get the quality curling in Canada, of course.
ちょっと幅ある。コースケ、コースケです。
This Japan team have been together a long time in comparison to that relatively short space of time for the Swedish team. They know each other very well indeed, around about 8 years.
Yeah, they play out of the Karuizawa curling club. Very nice facility. I hosted the Pacific Asia Curling Championships a couple of years ago.
Japan finished 6th in Halifax to Sweden's first position.
Yeah, well, Japan actually lost out to Sweden in a tiebreaker last year. They're very close to the playoffs. Or 2 years ago, pardon.
Yuzuki Morizumi.
Mine's good.
Not a great ratio on his draws. He's a sports instructor. He's got 3 children that he manages on top of his curling.
Still looking to medal at the Worlds. Still actually haven't won the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Morizumi has lost 6 finals in a row, 6 years in a row.
He was silver medal in Almaty in Kazakhstan, tail end of last year. And best position actually at the Worlds is 5th. And that was in Beijing in 2014.
So that draw just ending up all too deep for Japan. Not lying in shot position, and with that, Sweden's just going to play a draw themselves. Not sure if they're coming down onto it. They might just put this top house, top of the tee line, perhaps.
Medine 71% on his 7 draws.
Yeah, just drawing to the side of the forfeit here. I think they're going to be quite happy with that. And Morizumi has called a hit. He's going to play what looks like a tiny hit and roll. And we'll leave a fairly straightforward shot for Nicholas Edin to win, though. Wasn't quite able to get too much going in this game, or this end rather, after Kristoffer Sundgren made 2 perfect tick shots early on. As you see, Morizumi's pre-shot routine.
But he kept his eyes up all the time there.
Yeah, as opposed to Sven Michael.
Right, whatever works for them. Hits and rolls towards the button.
Yep, and Nicholas Edin really just needs the Sailstone to go away to win. He's up by 1, so doesn't even need to stick around. And even so, he has that red stone at second shot. So
and I don't think I've ever really seen him miss one of these.
you know, I'll give you really good odds on this, Alison, if you care to bet.
I'm not a betting person, but I could give you the odds.
Yeah, so as long as he releases this before the hog line and we don't have a pickup, I believe Sweden should win the game right here.
He absolutely loves these shots. Eats them for dinner. There we go, and an opening win for Sweden. Handshakes all round. It was a narrow win, and Japan pushed them all away. The defending champions start this 2016 championship with an 8-5 victory over Japan. Swedish fans enjoying that. I'm sure more and more will appear by the end of the week.
Well, going back to that future game we had earlier on Germany-Switzerland. So I just saw Switzerland win that game 8 shots to 2 in 8 ends. Very solid display from them. Third end between Germany and Switzerland, and is Baumann looking to hit the stick to score 1, having given up a steal of 1 both on the first and second end. He's able to hang on for shot stone, trailing by 1 after 3 ends. In the fourth, it was Switzerland to have hammer for the first time, putting some stones in play and executing well. And they would be left to draw for 3. Sven Michael, no problems finding at least the back of the 8-foot there, with a very dominant lead. As we skip along to the 6th end, it's Switzerland looking to move some stones around. Does get the red stones flying just enough to sit for 2. And then very much in control of the game. 7th end blanked. In the 8th, Germany with the biggest chance of the game really to score 3, but does not curl enough on him, and Baumann will jam the O. Another steal for Switzerland, and they would shake hands with the final score being 8 shots to 2 for the Swiss.
And in the other games, it was Sweden 8, Japan 5, Sheet B, Korea 3, Scotland 9, and a Norway victory over Russia 11-3. So after session 1, wins there for Norway, Scotland, Switzerland and Sweden. Other teams still to play, of course, in the next session. And defeats for Germany, Japan, Korea and Russia. Sven, congratulations, an opening win. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. We were a bit nervous at the start, and it's real warm in here, so we're happy that we played a good game, and we're happy with the first win.
Were the nerves primarily because you're playing in front of a home support?
Yeah, sure. It was a great feeling with the great crowd we had today, and yeah, we enjoyed that game, and it was a great pleasure.
You made a lot of shots right at the start, and they didn't. I guess that was the difference, was it?
Yeah, I guess that was the big difference. We had a pretty good start, and they were pretty unlucky maybe in the first couple ends, and after our advantage, after the timeout, we had a pretty easy game.
Father, what's the target here? What's obviously to win it, but what I know it's game by game, but what's the plan?
Well, for sure we want to go. We want to see game per game. We want to play pretty good. So, of course, our goal is to reach a medal. But it was just the first game. There's many more to come, and we try to play as good as we can.
Well played. Well done.
Thank you.
And that was Sven Mikkel, the Swiss skip. That's it from this first session. Hope you've enjoyed it. We are back for the next draw. From me, Alison Walker and Sandra Rovag. Bye for now.